high school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello and welcome to Overtime. I'm Scott Leber.
And I'm Drew Collins. We're glad you've joined us for our final overtime of this basketball season. We're going out with a bang tonight. We have some great boys sectional championship game highlights for you.
We're going to look back at a record-breaking season, and we'll look ahead to the teams we think will be the top teams in the area next season.
And we'll have some of our top plays from this season.
Let's get to it. There were sectional championships to be won tonight and bragging rights for two Rockford teams.
Auburn and Guilford have been waiting for this moment all season. They were both sensational Wednesday night at the Hononegah sectionals in the semifinals. Tonight, one of these Rockford teams would extend its season. It's the Gillies Heating and Air Conditioning game of the week. Scott hates pan shots, but he should approve of this one. Scott, this has to be the largest crowd for an all-Rockford basketball game in a very long time. Standing room only. Everyone from the 815 was here. Make no mistake about it, this game was the Amir Danforth versus Brandon Chapman special. Two of the top prospects going head-to-head, and it lived up to the hype. They combined for 67 points. First Danforth, now here comes Chapman. My guy Iceman Chapman finished with 39 points and 8 rebounds. He was incredible. But Danforth stole the show and the lead. Fast break pass by Champ Parker, and Amir brings down the house. Auburn led by 10 in the second quarter. Check out the dunk. Let's all just sit back and watch this beautiful sequence of basketball. Danforth pulls up from 30 feet. It's good, but don't blink. Chapman comes right down the court, and he'll get 2 of his own points. That was the story of the game. Guilford went on a massive 29-point third quarter thanks to Chapman. They took the lead, and he got the and one. And Iceman wasn't done. Check this out. Buzzer beater to end the third quarter. Three-pointer, it goes in. Guilford took the lead 51-44 heading into the final quarter. So here we are. Could the G-Vikes pull off the 3-game sweep over Auburn? No. Danforth, not 1, not 2, but 3 three-pointers to come back and take the win. Drake once said he's looking for revenge, and so were Danforth and the Knights, and they got it. Auburn wins it 74-68 in Rockton.
They beat us in regular season twice, but we won when it mattered. So now we're 1 game away from state, and we're gonna do that. Like I said, Brandon's a hell of a player. He wanted to run, but we have to limit him. We have to do what we have to do, put our best defender on him, and we did that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. They had a little two games back then, but we had to send them home tonight, so that's all that matters.
The momentum was Nair. Nair came in and completely changed the game for us. Without Nair, we don't win this game. They kind of picked me to guard him, and I was like, I had to give it my all, so I gave it my all.
Didn't lose all of January. We really lost to them too, so it really hurt us. We really wanted to get them back.
They showed tremendous resiliency and athletic character. I couldn't be prouder of them. They've been with me, most of these guys, for a long time now.
All right, here's what's next for Auburn. The Knights will play at the 4A NIU Super Sectional Monday night at 7:30. They'll face Bennett Academy of Lyle. The Red Wings are 34-1.
Let's go to Orion for a 1A sectional and 2 NUIC rivals who have gone at it 3 straight years in the sectional finals. Pecatonica and Eastland, they both had some amazing down-to-the-wire wins this postseason. Eastland's Parker Krogman uses the head fake to work around Zion Brima. Krogman sinks 2 of his 12 points. Brima will answer down low. Cougars come back. They'll work the baseline and get the ball to Maddox Spears. Count it, and 1. Now, normally it's Zion Brima blocking shots, but here it's his freshman brother Isaiah with the rejection. Peck on the inbound. It's Connor Bird. The freshman drains it from deep. Brima then will work his way into the paint. Misses the first time, not the second. He led all scorers with 22 points. Zy Haberlin going to go right over Brima for that basket. This was another great game between these two schools, and for the second straight year, Eastland defeats Pecatonica for a sectional championship 48-41. Here's what's next for Eastland. The Cougars will travel to Macomb Monday night at Western Illinois University for a 1A Super Sectional. They will play the Tremont Turks. Tremont's record is 25-10. Auburn and Guilford weren't the only Rockford teams that took the court tonight, so did Rockford Lutheran.
The Crusaders were in Mendota for a 2A sectional championship game. Tyler Sorensen has that one for us. Tyler.
Yeah, guys, the Crusaders faced the Johnsburg Skyhawks. Now, Johnsburg beat Lutheran by 4 points during the regular season, and that was during the Martin Luther King tournament in January at Pecatonica. But in the stands for this one was current Boylan head coach Luke Weber supporting his former squad. And Lutheran actually started the game off strong, with freshman Evan Cole getting the steal and the lay-in. But then Johnsburg just started hitting from deep, starting with Jay Schmidt from downtown. Then Trey Toussaint from beyond the arc. They would hit 3 straight three-pointers, putting them up by 7 early. Now Lutheran would be able to get some work done in the paint with this Brady Lindsley and 1. But beyond the arc was a completely different story. The Crusaders would not hit a single three-pointer in this game. But on the flip side, Jonesburg could not miss, even with this 4-point play from Ashton Stern. But the Crusaders were not wanting to go out without a fight as Mason Keller gets a tough lay-in. And hey, give Keller another one. He led the team with a team-high 17 points. And Richard Anderson also driving and hitting the high-arcing lay-in. We'd finish with 16, but it would not be enough as Lutheran's season would get cut short by Jonesburg, 68-50. Now, hey guys, this season was a magical run for the Crusaders, being able to make it to sectionals, and I'm excited just how this team bounces back next season. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Tyler. Coming up later, we'll have some of our top plays of the season.
Up next, the Byron Lady Tigers go after the big prize, and we'll look back at a season of broken records by some of our talented players. Well, the Byron girls basketball team will be playing for a state championship this weekend.
If they get it, it will be the 3rd girls state championship in Byron's history. The Lady Tigers won their 2A semifinal game yesterday against Elgin St. Edward. It was all St. Ed's early. The Green Wave jumped out to a 15-4 lead, but the Lady Tigers would end up getting it going. Macy Grow-Herring hits for 3 in the second half. She scored 9 points. Then the Green Wave, they turn it over. Grow-Herring has it. Ahead to Malia Morton. Morton finished with 14 points. Grow-Herring, she's going to poke the ball away from behind. That's her signature move. She gets it right back for the basket. Bryn Green grabbing another steal and another basket. That gave Byron a 45-43 lead with 43 seconds to play. The Lady Tigers won a thriller over St. Ed, 49-43.
We just had to really focus on our mindset and stay in the game. We knew that our defense, if we brought up the pressure and just stayed in the game, we could pull it off.
And it was a super fun game. That's kind of what you like to see in the state sectionals. I know the parents probably weren't happy with such a close game, neither were we, but going into state championship, that's how it's going to be. So just being able to have that experience going into state championship will help us.
They didn't want to lose, and we just had to get some things fixed. And we kind of give the kids credit because they really just figured it out in the second quarter, and we made a run, and that's definitely a team win, and that's how you got to do that down here.
The Lady Tigers will be on the court tomorrow at noon at Illinois State, playing for their state championship in 2A. They'll face Breese Central. The Cougars have a record of 31-3.
Well, things did not go as well for Rockford Christian in a 1A semifinal yesterday against Mackinac. Tegan Lawver, though, grabbing a loose ball here. She puts it in for RC. Lucy Gargani then knocks down the shot from deep. Jaden Connerly will follow that up. She fires in a 3-ball. But the Royal Lions had one very big problem. DMAC 6'1" center Delia DeJesus, who sinks that shot. Then she's going to score down low. DeJesus scored 31 points, almost outscoring the entire Rockford Christian team. Rockford Christian lost to Mackinac 48-35. Rockford Christian then lost in the 3rd place game to Brown County, but what a season for the Royal Lions.
The last 3 seasons have been unbelievable in terms of players smashing school records and area records.
This season might have been the most amazing one yet. Take a look at some of these incredible achievements.
Wow, we just have some incredible talent around here.
We sure do. And I want to say this now. There were several kids who scored their 1,000th point this season, but if we showed all those, we'd be here all night and well into Saturday morning, which we almost are. And so there were some other kids too, broke records, school records for assists and steals. But again, there were too many of those to cover in our time frame here, but we congratulate all of you.
All right, don't go away, because up next, we'll tell you who we think will be the top teams in the area next season.
Even though the season isn't quite over yet, we can't help ourselves. We're already looking ahead to next season.
That's how our brains are wired. So let's take a few minutes to project which teams we believe will be the top teams in our area next season.
Well, let's start with the girls, and at the 1A level, Pecatonica jumps out at me. Peck won 23 games this season. The Indians tied Dakota for the NUIC North Championship, and Peck has the core of its team returning. Riley Alexander returns. As a sophomore this year, she was the NUIC North's MVP. Cora Nowd returns. She had a breakout season as a sophomore, showing great scoring ability. And post player Ava Ackerman will return. And if one more player can emerge next season as a consistent scoring threat, and if Alexander can improve her outside shooting consistency just a bit, this team should be very, very good.
The Big Northern Conference will be strong again, and one team that will definitely be battling for the top will be Winnebago. The Indians won 26 games this season. They'll lose a couple key seniors, including Carson Palmer, but they will return a lot of talent. Alyssa Zambrovitz, Avery Brule, Ida Fager, Grace Coral, Izzy Nelson, and Macy Dill. Next season could be Bago's year in the Big Northern.
But some other BNC teams will definitely challenge Bago, and I like what Stillman Valley is coming back. They return their big three of Lillian Green, Daylene Wade, and Emma Withers. Withers really became a force this season, and I think point guard Kaya Hildreth, who played quite a bit this season as a freshman, has a lot of upside.
All right, let's focus on the Nick 10. We'll start with Freeport. Now, Freeport's level of success will depend on how quickly Peyton London can rebound from her torn ACL. Will she be ready to go at the start of this season? Will she have to ease into things and need half of a season to get back into top form? Even Peyton London at 60% is better than most other players.
Boy, did we miss watching her play this season. Freeport also returns center Keegan Huggins and forward Aliana Fain, who is athletic and long, and Denisha Piguet is another very good player who can score. Now, Hononegah is graduating two outstanding seniors in Jordan Dimke and Kylie Simpson, but the Indians will definitely be in the hunt for another Nick 10 championship, and it all starts with Ainsley Hughes, who already scored more than 1,000 points as a sophomore. She does so many things well, but her basketball IQ is her best trait, in my opinion. She understands how to play the game.
And Ainsley will have a lot of help. Michaela Mowers will return in the post. Carly Cook will be back as another good ball handler and shooter. Madison Olson and Addison Belfus will return, adding more size with scoring ability.
Well, that covers the girls. Now the boys teams, and we like these teams heading into the season.
Yeah, we'll start the way we began with the girls, with Pecatonica. The Indians reached the Super Sectional this season. All of their key players will be back. You start with Zion Brima, who will be a senior. If he adds a little more muscle and a little more polish with the shooting, he might be unstoppable. Carter Degner has already been one of the best point guards in the area as a sophomore this season. And Cooper Hamilton was a consistent scoring threat also as a sophomore.
And then the two freshmen who started this season will be back, Isaiah Brima and Connor Berg. They're already 6 feet and 6 feet 1 tall, and knowing their family genes, I would not be surprised if they both grew 2 or 3 inches by next season. Where do I buy my season tickets to watch this Peck team? All right, in the Big Northern, Winnebago's my pick to click. The Indians lose high-scoring point guard Miles Smith. That's a blow, but they return a lot of talent. Aiden Shoemate, who's already an excellent scorer. Bryant Beck, who has size at 6'5" and 2 years of varsity experience already under his belt. Mason Smith should make a big leap next season, and Ryan Coral is another very good player who will return.
In the Nick 10, watch out for Hononegah. The Indians are graduating 5 outstanding seniors. Most teams couldn't overcome that, but Hononegah has the young talent to possibly do so. Their JV team this season won 24 games and only lost 2. The freshman team won 27 games and only lost 3. Both teams won the conference championship. Dan Martinetti is one of those young players you might want to keep an eye on.
Reigning 4-time conference champion Guilford will have a lot to say about the conference championship again. The Vikings are losing Brandon Chapman, so they won't be able to lean on his clutch play in big games. They're also going to lose Keeson Taylor. Even though he's only a junior, he's likely to enroll in college early next January. to begin his college football career. Jordan Lopez and Cordell Spencer also graduate, but the Vikings will return athletic guards Kyer Johnson and Calvin Graves. They'll return starting forward Cooper Posey, and their two big men, 6'7" Ricky Woods Jr. and 6'6" Ethan Jones will be back. And Guilford will get an influx of young talent from an Eisenhower 8th grade team that was outstanding this season.
Plenty of reasons there are to be excited next season. It's that time in the show when we reveal our winner of the Athlete of the Week contest.
Our finalists this week were Byron's Macy Grow-Herring, Auburn's Amir Danforth, Byron's Kason Newton, and Lutheran's Zach Van Blaricom.
And the winner is, by a landslide, is Byron's Kason Newton. More than 3,700 votes were placed, and Newton received a whopping 93% of them. Hey, he's a popular guy. Congratulations, Kason, on being selected our Athlete of the Week.
Coming up next, we look back at some of the top plays of the season.
All right, welcome back. We bring you a lot of content on this show each and every week, but the backbone of this show will always be the highlights.
And some are just eye-popping, so now we look back at some of the best plays from this season. These are brought to you by Napleton Auto Group. We begin with Sycamore's Quinn Carrier, Boylan's Reindeer Games in December. The fast break topped off by the great spin move and hoop. Carrier is very, very talented. Sycamore, they've always got great girls bowlers down there.
All right, check out this reverse land by Winnebago's Alyssa Zambrovitz. Perfectly spin off the glass. She's only a sophomore, so she's only going to get better. We've seen a lot of girls do that reverse flip in this season, and Alyssa does it as well as everyone else. Here's one of the best defensive plays of the season. Byron playing at Stillman Valley. The Stillman jump shot is up, and out of nowhere comes Macy Grow-Herring with a flyby to block the shot. She just threw her body like a projectile to get a piece of that ball. Macy might be the best defensive player in the state line. What a play for her.
And we only got about half a season from Freeport's Peyton London, but that was more than enough time for her to make dazzling plays like this one against Tonaniga, spinning and launching the turnaround jumper over 3 defenders, and down it went. There are very few high school girls players who have the strength and leaping ability to make that move. Keep rehabbing, Peyton, because we want to see more of that.
Let's get some top plays from the boys in here. Auburn's Champ Parker against Guilford. Off the Auburn miss. Parker is there for the one-handed reverse putback. That takes some great athleticism and great focus. He was all the way up there in the sky.
I love the sequence by Boylan's Christian Kennedy against Tonaniga. He gets the steal, and then he's going to get the basket. But he's not done, because watch this. Comes right back with another steal and an assist. Kennedy filling up the stat sheet in the span of 8 seconds.
Let's check out some great defense by Pearl City's Lane Kimple against Dakota. He gets up there for the big block. Kimple is only 6 feet tall, but on this play, he played like he was 7 feet tall. His head almost hit the bottom of the backboard. Lane Kimple, my goodness. Back to the offense now. Hononiga's excellent point guard, Caleb Hart, at Boylan on the fast break, goes behind the back to Briggs for the layup. That deserves another look. That pass was on the money. Check this out right here, right behind the back. Great job, Caleb.
Harlem's Mateo Pereira does that, and maybe one better, because he's going to drive on Freeport and go behind his back to Devontae Gordon, and the big fella has a monster slam. Pereira gave us a lot of great highlights this season. That one might have been his best.
We love this one. Guilford against Auburn at the Rumble in the Rock at Rock Valley. Keeson Taylor at the free throw line misses the shot, but he grabs his own rebound and puts it in and gets called for gets the foul there, putting him right back at the free throw line. That is hustle and effort by the big fella.
Let's get some elevation in here. There have been very few players in Nick 10 history who can dunk as well as Auburn's Malik Marshall. Champ Parker on the perimeter throwing that ball up toward the rim, and Marshall soars in for the power dunk. This rates a 10 in my book. God gave that leaping ability to only a few people on this planet. Michael's got it. He can fly.
His teammate Amir Danforth can get up too. Here he is on the breakaway. He's going to grab a monster dunk. Check out the elevation and the power at the rim. That's another 10. There's something none of this or the three at Auburn could do. Very talented uncles that he had. Amir was awesome on that play.
Yeah, none of his uncles could do that. All right, we finish up with Peck's future D1 guy, Zion Bryma. He gets the steal, takes a little shove from behind, but then gets way up there for the dunk. That's why he wears number 23. There have been a few good dunkers with that number over the years.
Those are the top plays of the year. We'll be right back.